remember we were discussing the questions in text questions. So whatever questions are easy, okay, we will simply discuss them. The others, we will solve them, especially the ones that are required to solve needs to be solved. Okay. All right. So let's start with this. Okay. So we finished this much of the question, I think. This, which page did we do the questions on? I think we did it till page 202, right? Till page
Yes,
number 202 we did, and we got the answer for the third one. Okay. Now, the next set of questions are in your page number. I'm just scrolling to check. Okay, page number 209. Directly, you have page number 209. And the first question on page 209 is, on what factors does the resistance of a conductor depend on? Okay, so what can be the answers for this? I'm just going to write the answers directly. Length of conductor, you know that, right? What is the formula we will study? It's a rho L by A, the same formula you need to apply. Okay, so it depends on length of conductor. It depends on cross-sectional area. Cross-sectional area of conductor. It also depends on what? The material of conductor. Very good. It depends on temperature. That's true. Very good. Third point can be temperature of conductor. I'm writing in short form, because we have finished the chapter. We'll finish it quickly. That's why I said PPT will be a better idea. Okay. All right. Same notes. I will put it in PPT. We'll discuss and I'll share you the notes at the end of the class. Okay. Then we can also have material. Okay. Material of conductor. Done. Okay, conductor, 1 second. All right, very good. Second question is nothing but they are asking us, will current flow more easily through a thick wire or a thin wire of the same material when connected to the same source? The same source means source of supply. What is the formula of resistance? It is nothing but VI. Or is it correct? No, it is not correct. V is equal to IR. Okay, you should understand. This is one formula. From here, what is resistance? V by I. Also, there's one more formula. R is equals to rho L by A. Okay, you need to think of this formula right now. Okay, you need to think of this formula right now. Okay, let us understand this. Will the current flow more easily through a thick or a thin wire? So now they're talking about the cross-sectional area. Okay, whether it is thick or it is thin. Okay, now through which the current will flow? Resistance is inversely proportional to area. Yes, resistance is inversely proportional to area, right? So how do you go ahead with this? Resistance is inversely proportional. That means more the resistance, lesser is the area, or thinner is the area. Instead of writing less, I will write thin. Right?
So the answer is the current flows better in a thick
Very good.
wire,
because they are talking about a thick wire. So if the area of cross section is thick, the resistance offered would be less by that particular conductor and more current flows. Okay, I'm just discussing everything in very short. Okay, because we have to finish it and the chapter is done, right? That's the reason. Okay, do not worry about the answers to these questions. Understand it, trying to write it for you. Next, what is the third question? Okay, so what will you write? You can write a statement here. If you want to understand this, you can say hence. Okay, current flows much better in which wire? In thick wire. That's all. If you want, you can write it more properly. It flows, let's say, it flows easily in a thick wire because the resistance offered is less. Okay, this is just for your information. Resistance offered is less. Okay, my dear students. Okay. Now, question number 3. The third question is, let the resistance of an electrical component remains constant while the potential difference across the two ends of the component decreases to half of its former value. What change will occur in the current through it? We are using Ohm's law here. What is Ohm's law? V is equal to IR. Now they are telling us what are the things. They are telling us let the resistance remain constant. Okay. What is changing? Voltage. Voltage is becoming nothing but half of the original. So you can just say half of initial or original value. Half of initial value. Okay, new voltage will be half of initial value. So what is the initial voltage then? You can keep it as V. Okay. What is new voltage? V by 2. Half of it means V by 2 or 1 by 2 into V. Next, what will you do? You'll put it in the equation and then check. Which equation? Ohm's law. Okay. Let it be V is equal to IR. What is your V? You should use new V. We have to find out how much current flows and R is constant. So it will be R only. Instead of writing that, just write R normally. What is new V's value? 1 by 2 into V. 1 by 2 into V is equals to IR. Right? So what is I? I will be how much? It will be nothing but V by 2R. This is the value of what? The value of I. What is V by R? Current. Right? So can you replace it with that? It is nothing but half of the current is flowing. Okay. Half of the current is flowing. Did you get the answer here? Yes. You got your answer.
Ma'am?
Tell me.
Ma'am, can you explain the question to me again?
Yeah, the question is about, suppose they have given you a condition that the resistance remains the same. Okay, resistance remains the same and or constant while the potential difference is reduced to half of its original value. And then what will be the new value of current? Okay, what will be the new value of current? That you will get. So first we will take V is equal to IR. This is the same formula that we will apply. Then we have to apply a new V. What is new V? The new voltage, which is getting reduced by half, right? Which is getting reduced by half. Okay. So what are the things you will do? You just have to reduce it by half and then use the same equation. Okay. You just have to use the same equation over here. Okay. So these are the things that you have to do over here. So I will be equal to what? V by 2R. If you replace V is equal to V by 2. What you had to do, you just had to replace V is equal to V by 2. What is I? I is equal to V by R. So I will be nothing but, 1 second. It will be half of V by R, right? What is V by R? I into 1 by 2 or I by 2. So what is the new current? This is your new current. Okay. What's the value of new current? It reduces by half. Okay. It reduces by half. The new current will be reduced by half. That's your answer. If the voltage is reducing by half, your current also reduces by half. See, if you want to denote it separately, no, you can call it as, let's say, I dash. Okay, if you want to call this, I is equal to V by R. So you just replace. So basically your I dash is equal to I by 2. That's all. Okay, so if the voltage is decreased to half, then what happens? Then current. Okay, so what happens to your current? That also reduces by half, whereas the resistance remains the constant. Okay, current reduces to half. 1 second, I'll write properly. Reduces to half of its original value. Okay, half of its original value. And you can also write and resistance remains constant. Okay, any doubts here? Now tell me. So we have Gautami. Okay, yes, Gautami. We were just discussing the in-text questions. Gautami, on Sunday, we are planning to take a class. So we are planning to take it at 10 to 11 or somewhere around 11:30, 10 to 11:30. Will that be fine with you? I just discussed with students. Yes, will that be fine? Let me check a chat. Okay, so let it be in morning. And Mahashri has not yet joined again in the class. So I don't know what is happening. Let me just put a message across. So Maya, did you understand this question? Tell me, Maya, today we'll finish it up.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay, now
ma'am.
you understood? Okay, so just remember one thing. If the current or the voltage is reduced, the other value is also going to reduce, because voltage is proportional to current, no? V is proportional to I. So it is a directly proportional. This is the reason. So if your V is doubled, your I will also be doubled. If V is reduced to 1 by 4, I will also be reduced to 1 by 4. Okay, just keep this thing in your mind and you will be easily going ahead and doing it. All right, so let me just message Mahashri because she has not joined. She has missed many classes. Okay, no problem. So we are done with this. And I'll also put up a message today to Lakshmi ma'am that she will add Maya's number to the group. Okay, all right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. There are exams that are going to come. So we will, wrap it up and we need to start with live processes. Okay. So as I discussed, we'll use PPT format so that, we can wrap up the chapters fast. Next question. Why are coils of electric toasters and electric irons made of an alloy rather than a pure metal? Okay, why do you think
I
alloys
know the
are
answer.
advantageous? Yes, please tell me.
Ma'am, alloys have a higher resistance rate, and
Okay.
the melting point is high, so
Okay.
it can be used as heating devices, for heating devices.
Okay. And also has a high melting and a boiling point, and also has a high melting point, which is MP and BP. So they are preferred over what? They are preferred over metals.
Pure metals.
Very good. Pure metals. So they are preferable. So I'm writing the answers in short. Okay. Everything is there in your book. Okay. Do not worry about the answers. Why we are discussing soon? Because we need to finish it. That's why. Okay, as I said, I'll discuss the PPT format. That will be easier so that I can finish, one single chapter in 2-3 classes itself. And then whatever time we have, we can discuss the questions then. Okay, so that will be better. That will be a better idea. Okay, over pure metals. Okay, very good. Next question. Okay. What we can do for the next question. So there's one more part of this question. You can just have a look at table 12.2. See, if you want to understand this answer more easily, what you can do is you can go ahead and refer it in table 12.2. You have all the comparison between alloys and pure metals. Okay, refer table 12.2 from where? NCERT book. Okay. Next. Question number 5 says, use the table. Okay, now use the data in table 12.2. Okay, so now they are telling you that go to the table 12.2 to answer the following. So basically, what's the question about? I think the question is about which among iron and mercury is a better conductor. So can you tell me one thing? If you look at your table 12.2 on your page right now, tell me which is better. Iron is
Ma'am,
better.
iron is better.
Why iron
Because-
is better than mercury?
Ma'am, because the resistivity is of iron is lower than the resistivity of mercury.
Very good. So what is the meaning of resistivity? If resistivity is less, flow of electric
Current is more.
current is more. Yes. So iron is better than mercury is Hg. So iron is your Fe. Ferric or ferrous is better than Hg as its resistivity is low. See, whichever material has lower resistivity, they are more prone to better flow of electric currents. Okay, as its resistivity is low. What is the meaning of resistivity low? And hence current flow capacity will be higher. Current flows more. Simple words I'm mentioning, you can rephrase it, because if I start writing everything, then we won't be able to. Okay, next. Second part of this question is, which material is the best conductor? I told
Can
you.
I say?
Yes, please tell me.
Ma'am,
Yes.
it's silver.
Right, the answer. Very good. Yes, I've repeated it so many times. Silver, 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 but it is costly, so we don't use it. So that's the reason we use copper. Okay. See, gold is also a metal. Gold is also precious, but then gold's resistivity is not that great, as compared to silver. So silver is the best metal. It's the best conductor. You can just write best conductor. Okay, that's all is enough to answer your question. All these answers are available in table 12.2. Refer table 12.2. Okay, all right, next. To scroll down and let us go to the next question. I think we have it on, so page number
Page
209.
213.
Page number 213, very good. So let's go to the page number 213, and the questions are, one second. The question says, draw a schematic diagram of a circuit, okay, consisting of a battery of 3 cells of 2 volt each, a 5 ohm resistor, 8 ohm resistor, and also a 12 ohm resistor and a plug key, all connected in series. You just have to draw the diagram, and you should not find out the total resistance. So do not find it out. Just go to page number 213. Okay, go to the first question. You don't have to find it out. Okay, you don't have to find it out. How do you draw? It's easier to draw. Simple question. You all will be able to draw it. I'll draw it quickly for you here to show you how it is going to look like. And it's in series connection. So I'll write here resistors connected in series. Okay, how would you do that? Let me show you how you can do. I'll just draw a very rough diagram. So first, I'll start with resistors itself. So first we have a 5 ohm. Okay, then we have a 8 ohm, and then we have 12 ohm. I'm drawing a rough diagram. Okay, 12 ohm resistor. Now, you know one thing, that the ammeter is connected in such a way that it should be having opposite terminals as compared to the battery. But you don't have ammeter, which is given. So you just have battery, plug, and the resistors. So it will be easy. So you can start with the positive terminal, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Shorter ones are negative. Actually, that can be a little bit thick as well if you want to make it thick. That's all right. Okay. Next, you will have a switch. Obviously, the switch should be closed. This is a closed switch. That's how you get it. How will the current flow? From the positive terminal to the negative terminal, right? This is how.
I have a doubt.
Yes, please tell me.
Ma'am, can you can we put the switch in between the battery and the resistor?
No.
Like
Okay, you wanted to put between. Yes, you can do that.
yes,
Position.
because I've just put it there
That's okay. That's not a problem.
on the
See,
sides.
yes, you can do that. Position. See, now also it's between the battery and the resistor only, but not exactly in between. If you are putting it here or here, that's fine. Okay, anything is fine. That's not a problem. It's just that the terminals should be correct. What should be correct? Terminals should be correct. The positive should be positive. See, we don't have ammeter and voltmeter, no? So we are not going to take that up. 1 second. Undo that. Redo. Yes. So here I will put the switch or a plug. That's all. Okay, that's correct. This was a very easy question. Okay, very easy question. Second question is about redraw the circuit of question 1. Okay, putting in an ammeter to measure the current through the resistors and a voltmeter to measure the potential difference across 12 ohm resistor only. So your voltmeter will be in parallel with the 12 ohm. Okay, let me just try to tell you about that. Let's start. 1, 2, 3. So, but you need an you need a voltmeter, no? So you can just put a voltmeter here. Okay. See, my diagram will not be that proper. It'll be proper, but it'll be a very rough scale because I'm not using any scale, etc. Now I'll just first connect the batteries. Okay, at least 3 batteries we need, and the voltage is 6 volt. Okay. Now, this is your 5 ohm. This is your 8 ohm. This is your 12 ohm. You connected a voltmeter. Now you need to be very careful by placing the ammeter because your batteries are from positive to negative and the current is flowing in the same manner from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. It's opposite to the flow of electrons, right? Now, what do you do? Okay, how do you place your ammeter? When you are placing your ammeter, right, you should place it with the same thing, negative to negative, positive to positive. Okay, and then you will put your switch. You can put it anywhere, as we said, and you can just do it. Show the flow of current like this. Okay, it's flowing like this, positive with positive, negative with negative. But your voltmeter.
Can I ask why, ma'am? Because like then if there are similar charges, then won't the charges flow, ma'am?
Similar charges. See, charges will definitely flow, but then you know that like charges repel each other.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and unlike charges, what do unlike charges do?
Attract.
Each other. But the thing is, where is your current flowing? Current is flowing through what? The particular device is being used here, right? It flows through your battery. It flows through your battery, right? It flows across your battery itself. And it is measured with the help of voltmeter. Why is the voltmeter connected with resistors? That's because they are checking how much it is flowing through the this resistors. But they are the ones which will measure your potential difference. That will give you how exactly the current is flowing with the help of voltage as well as with the help of resistors. The ammeter, this is your ammeter. So ammeter has to be connected with the same terminals, okay? Because current will flow in the same direction as the flow of battery itself. Okay, as the flow of battery itself. So this is how it will look like. Like charges repel and unlike charges attract, right? This is what we have learned. This is what we have learned. Okay. All right. Any doubts here now? Now tell me. No doubts? Okay. All right. So just remember one thing, that ammeter is always connected in series and the voltmeter is always connected in parallel with the resistors. Okay. So
Ma'am,
these
but
are
I
the
don't
things.
understand why, ma'am, you have put two minus, minus signs together. Like, there's minus in the left side and plus sign in the side of the ammeter.
Yes, because the ammeter is placed in such a way with the same manner how the battery or the cells are placed. That's not going to change. Okay, because that will not hamper the flow of current actually. See, we know that like charges repel and unlike charges attract, but these are the terminals or the ends of the battery or the ammeter. What is the work of ammeter? Just to measure the current, how much it is flowing. It is of only that particular use. It is over there just to measure the current and not to actually check out how much it is flowing, right? It will just measure how much it is flowing, but then it doesn't matter whether current is like flowing through ammeter. It just measures how much it is flowing. It'll just give you a reading. Basically current will only flow when you have your voltmeter as well. Okay, a source of supply should be there. So the most important thing over here is your voltmeter, which is having unlike charges together. If you see properly, here it's a plus. No, oh, I'm sorry, I think here I should have done a 1 second. Yeah, I should have done a negative here and positive here. Okay, all right, that's how you have to do. Okay, negative and positive, you have to do it like that. Or else what you can do is, since you have the ammeter which has negative to this side and positive to this side, just see how the resistor, I mean how the battery is placed. Okay, just see how the battery is placed. The positive terminal is the longer one, no? So this side has to be negative. The one which I drew before was correct. Okay, the one that I drew before was correct. Okay, it has to be positive with a positive. 1 second, I think I made a small mistake here. This is again the same thing. The second time that I drew was correct. 1 second. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it will be opposite. It will be opposite to it because it is arranged in parallel and not in series. Yeah, now it's correct. So anything which is arranged in series, which is your ammeter, will have the same terminals as the battery or the cell. Okay, but voltmeter is always arranged in parallel. It is never arranged in series. So you can just change the terminals for the voltmeter. Any doubts here now? Please tell me. Just let me know before we go to the next thing. No doubts. Sachin says no doubts. What about Maya and Gautami? Please tell me if you have any doubts. No doubts. Okay, so just see how the diagrams are given in the questions. You will also get more idea. Ammeter will have the same terminals as the battery, and voltmeter will have separate terminals. I mean, basically, it should be positive with let's say here you have a positive, here you have a negative, so it will be a little different. Okay, for a voltmeter. Okay, for voltmeter it will be literally different because it's arranged in parallel. Okay, so if you want, you can also show the flow of current like this. Yes. Okay, but whenever you write a statement, you know how a statement is written. A statement is written in this way: current flows from positive terminal to a negative terminal of a battery. Okay, now the question that Maya asked me, right, that time, how? Let me tell you, Maya, what is the flow of current? How does a current flow? Electrons. How does a current flow? Because of the charge. What is charge constituting of? Electrons, right? So what are electrons? Negatively charged. Okay. If the battery is arranged from negative terminal to positive, then the ammeter will also be placed like that, because it is carrying your negatively charged electrons. So if the electrons are negative, obviously the ammeter has to point towards the positive. Then only they'll have unlike charges. Okay. So these are the things that needs to be taken care of. Okay. All right. Now, I think this page questions are done. We will have to go to the next page most probably. Let us scroll down. It off here, 1 second. Okay. So we have completed page number 213. Now we will go to page number, I think, 216. Yes. So page number 216. What are the questions given to us? So the questions given to us are, judge the equivalent resistance when the following are connected in parallel. Okay, so what are connected in parallel? The first question that we have, and the first part is 1 ohm, okay, and 10 to the power, okay, 6 ohm. 1 ohm and 10 to the power 6 ohm. All right. So how do you do this? Okay. How do you do this? Okay. All right. What do you think you can do?
Ma'am, I don't understand the question. Like, what should we do, ma'am?
Basically, you need to judge the equivalent resistance when the following are, I think, connected in parallel. They have written. You need to find the equivalent resistance. Judge the equivalent resistance means find the equivalent resistance. Okay. So you can assume that this is R1, this is R2. Find it out. How do we find? 1 by RP. What is the meaning of RP? Resistance in parallel, right? The total resistance you have to find for these questions. Okay. Resistance in parallel. Okay. 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. That's all. So how do you do this? 1 by 1. I'm sorry. 1 by 1. Okay. Plus 1 divided by 10 to the power 6. You will get over here. So let's quickly do the calculations and what answer do you get? So what is your LCM? 10 to the power 6. So it will become 10 to the power 6 plus 1 upon 10 to the power 6. If you add 1 to 10 to the power 6, how much will that be? It will be approximately 10 to the power 6 itself, because it's a negligible thing. No. What is 10 to the power 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. And if you add a 1 to it, how much do you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this much. So is it not equivalent or approximately equal to 10 to the power 6 itself? Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, it is. So then what do you actually do here? After this, again, divided by, sorry, 1 second, 10 to the power 6 itself. So what is your answer? It is equal to 1 only, no? Yes, it is equal to 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let's scroll down and find it out for part B. For part B, what are the things that you have? For part B, you have 10 to the power, sorry, 1 to the power, okay, it's 10 to the power 3, sorry, yeah. 1 ohm and 10 to the power 3 ohm actually. So again, you will get close to 1 ohm only, I believe, or let's try. Okay, let's try to see how much we will get? Will we get a 1 ohm or what do we get? Have to check that out. And I think you'll have to add one more thing, and 10 to the power 6 also. Okay, so you have 3 systems together. Okay, so now let's try this. You have 3 systems together. So let's try this. First you had 2 systems, then you have 3 systems together. Okay, so for 1 by R1 and 1 by R3, like 1 ohm and 10 to the power 6 ohm, we have seen it is 1, right? So we can just write, let this be R1, let this be R2, let this be R3. Okay, let this be R3. Okay, so how do you do it? 1 by 1 plus 1 by R2 is how much? 10 to the power 3 plus 1 by 10 to the power 6. In the previous question, we have seen for 1 by 1 and 1 by 10 to the power 6. And we just have to take it for 1 by 10 to the power 3. So this was 1 plus 1 by 10 to the power 3 if you want. You can do it in this manner also. Or if you want to take it for whole, step by step, you can do that way also. That's also fine. So let's try this out. How to take it up. Okay, so this is not 106. If it's looking like 106, I would rewrite it. It's 10 to the power 6. What's the LCM? It's 10 to the power 6. So how do you do it? It will be 10 to the power 6 plus 1 plus 10 to the power 3. Okay, this is how you will get it. So how do you do this now? This will be 10 to the power 9. 6 plus 3, 9. Plus 1 divided by 10 to the power 6. Now it's a division by 10 to the power 6. Okay, now it's a 10 to the power 9. It will still be 10 to the power 9 only, approximately, right? And 10 to the power 6. So you can just cancel this. What's your answer? It is close to your 10 to the power 3 ohms. Okay, it's close to your 10 to the power 3 ohms. Okay. Any questions here? Please tell me.
No questions, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let me tell you one thing here. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. One thing I want to tell you. Just give me 1 second. I think we made a small mistake. This is in parallel. No, it's 1 by RP. Oh, okay. This 1 by RP is correct. If you just take a reciprocal of 1 by 1, you get 1 ohm itself. But at the bottom also you have to take no reciprocal. Okay, please remember to take the reciprocal. This is 1 by RP. Okay, so please take the reciprocal. You'll get 1 by 10 cube actually. Okay, what is 1 by 10 cube? 0.1. Okay, 0.1000. Okay, this is your answer. Okay, this should be your answer actually, because it's reciprocal. You have to take reciprocal. It's in parallel. Okay, do not forget to do that. All right, yes. So we are done with this. And what are the other things that are pending for us? Let's try that out. See, if you want, you could have also done it in a much simpler way. I mean, if you want to, redo this. See, there are many methods of doing. Suppose if you get confused with any of the methods, let this be till here. If you want to take a reciprocal here itself, for example, if you want to take it will be close to that 0.1 or 0.99 something, you will get close to that. So don't worry. Now 1 by RP can also be taken as 10 to the power 9 plus 1 divided by 10 to the power 6. So if you need RP, just take a reciprocal of it. See, 10 to the power 9 plus 1 will be how much? It will be nothing but 10000. It's huge actually. I mean, like so many zeros should be there. So I'll just write it only 10 to the power 9 plus 1. Okay. All right. So how do you do this now? Okay, what is 10 to the power 9 plus 1?
It's similar to 10 to the power 9.
Yes, it's similar to that. So you will have to get that itself. And then once you do it, so what are you getting? 1 by 10 to the power 3, which is what we get. 10 to the power minus 3, or nothing but, okay, it's a 6, right? Yeah, so you have taken a reciprocal, and then if you're doing, so it will be minus, which is 0. Oh, that time I think we did a little different then. We took a reciprocal later, but if you want, you can take the reciprocal in the beginning also, that's fine. 0.001, something like this. Okay, you will get it. Yes, any doubts here? No doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let's scroll down then. Let's go to the next question. See, Sachin and Gautami, please ask doubts. If you have any questions, okay, please ask me. So you don't have to worry about any kind of questions, or do not get scared of any type of, questions. Okay, no doubts. Okay, very good. Now, the second question is, an electric lamp of 100 ohms. So I'll just write the things or the details first. Second question is, let R1 be 200 ohms. Okay. Now, a toaster of resistance 50 ohms. So let it be R2.
Ma'am, it's 100 ohms, not
Oh, sorry,
200
yes.
ohms.
It's 100. It's 100, right? Okay, there was a glitch in this. 1 second. Small eraser. Okay, and then do we have R3 and a water filter? Yes, which is for 500 ohms. Okay, they are connected in parallel to a 220 volt source. What is the voltage? 220 volts. They all are connected in parallel. They all are connected in parallel. Now, what are you supposed to find? What is the resistance of an electric iron connected to the same source that takes as much as current as all the three appliances? You need to find the equivalent resistance and then the current. Okay, so how do you do that? Okay, let it be, you can just say one thing first. Let RP, they are in parallel. So let RP be the resistance of what? Resistance of iron, which is connected. So you can just write resistance of, electric iron. Okay, and then you can find it out. So I'll just do it here itself. So 1 upon RP
It's equal to 1 upon R1 plus
yes.
R. Ma'am, I was telling the
Yes, no
formula.
problem. Yes, we will do that also, no problem. It's just, that I'm trying to finish it so that we can.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. That's all right. That's okay. Have to be sorry for that. As long as you know the things, that's all right. That's okay. Now, 150 and 1 by 500. So 1 by R3 is nothing but 1 by 100. Okay, I'll just rewrite it again. Now tell me, what will be the LCM here? LCM will be how much?
500. 500.
Very good. So you will get 5 plus, because 100 into 5.
10 plus 1.
Very good. So into 10 plus 1. Very good. Divided by 500. Now 5 plus 10, 15. 15 plus 1, 16. So 16 upon 500. 16 upon 500. So what is your resistance in parallel? Therefore, it is 500 by 16. Okay, now you can easily find it out. Okay, what is the answer? If you want, you can keep it in ohms. 500 by 16 ohms directly. You will use it to find out current also. That time you can cancel out the things. So what is I? V by R, right? V is equal to IR. So obviously I will be V by R. So use it here. Voltage is 220. What is 1 by RP? 16 by 500 again. Because it's 1 by R, it becomes. So we can just directly write the same thing over here. Okay, so we can now cancel out few things here. We can actually cancel out one thing. First, we will cancel out the zeros. Then we can cancel out the other things. And 16 is also cancelable with 2. So if I take 22 by 2, I get 11. 50 by 2, 25. Okay. Anything else? No, nothing else. So your answer should be close to 7.04 ampere. Okay. This should be the final answer that you should get over here. Okay. All right. Now, let us go ahead and okay, by the way, what are we going to do here? They are also asking us. This is 7.04 and this is the current which is drawn through all the 3 given appliances, right? So basically the we have to find the resistance as well, no? Okay. Resistance of the iron actually we have to find out, because what are they telling in the question? What is the resistance of an electric iron connected to the same source that takes as much as current? Okay, so first you need to find that out. So the electric iron will take as much as current, right? So actually RP is not the resistance of electric iron, let it be resistance of all appliances. Okay, yeah, of all appliances. Yes, let's scroll down. Now we'll find it out for, okay, now we'll find it out for R. Let R be the resistance of iron. First you have to find the total resistance, then the current. Now this I is also something which is undertaken by same current by what? By electric iron. 1 second. Okay. Resistance by electric iron. So we have to find this out. Current is same, only the resistance will be different. So now you'll have to find it out. R can be equal to what?
So R is equal to V by I.
Very good. V by I. What is the voltage? 220 volt. See, why did you find the total resistance of all? Because you didn't know what is the current. To find current, we had to do this much of it using the Ohm's law. Because the same current is to be taken by all the 3 of them. That's why we are doing it. Now the current is 7.04 ampere. So when you take this one, now your answer will be close to 31.2 ohms. Okay, 31.2, only 1 decimal I have written. Okay, this is the correct answer. All right, this is the correct answer over here. Okay, any kind of questions? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Doubts? Okay, so let me just scroll down. 1 minute. Now, what is the next question? I think it's a theory based. It says, what are the advantages of connecting electrical devices in parallel with the battery instead of connecting them in series? What can be the answer to this question? We just have 2 advantages. So they are asking advantages of parallel over series. That's the answer you have to write. Advantages of parallel as compared to series. Okay, what is the advantage? The first point is nothing but There is
They get
um,
different amounts of current
very
from through them.
so amount of current will be different, or division of current is possible. Okay, depending on the capacity of each electrical appliance, division of current in parallel takes place. You know that, yes? So division of current according to capacity. I'm writing everything in short. In notes, you will have all that, the advantages, disadvantages, everything will be there in better way. So do not worry about that, okay? Here, it's just a quick revision. And what else is there? In series, what happens if all the appliances are connected in series? If one of them fuses or is not working, all the others will stop working. So what's the other thing that you can write? You can also write that maintenance of electrical appliances is easy here. Appliances is easy. Why? Because none of the appliances will fuse. If one is fusing, all the others will at least remain safe, as if one appliance, okay, is not working, okay, the others okay, will still work, okay, it will still work. Yes, okay, got it. Now the next question is, so basically your effective resistance can be reduced.
Actually, that was the third question which we did, not the first one.
Is it the third question? Oh, yes. That's the third one. I think I've written it wrong here. This is the third one. This is going to be the fourth one. This is going to be the fourth one. Okay, and when all this happens, okay, your effective resistance can be reduced. What do you write here? Effective, okay, resistance is write properly. Okay. Now, question number 4. How can 3 resistors of resistances be connected to give a total resistance? First, what are those 3 resistors? Okay, first one is giving you 2 ohm. Second one is giving you 3 ohm. Third one is giving you 6 ohms. Now, you need to get a total of, see, this is total of, let's say 4 ohms. And the part B is total of, I think 1 ohm. How do you think you can connect them?
I think the B one is connected in parallel, and then
Okay.
the A one is connected in series.
Okay, the A1 is connected in series, but will it still be equal to 4? No, right? 3 plus 2, 6. 6 plus 6, 12. Not happening, right? In series, you just add all 3. So we are getting 12. We are not getting 4. So that means, can we not get a combination of, let's say, 2 of them arranged in series and 1 of them arranged in parallel, or 2 of them arranged in parallel and 1 of the resistances arranged in series? Yes, we can do that. Very good question. This is okay. Very good question. So you just have to try your, trial and error concept here. So for the part A, we will try to draw it in such a way. Let me just try drawing it here and let's help it out. So what I will do is I will connect the 3 and 6 ohms in parallel. Okay. So you need to check the combinations. Okay, you need to check the combinations. Okay. I think this is not that properly done, but I will still do it. Let me just try doing it. First one, second. Okay, let me close it here. Now, I will connect these in series. Okay, and here we will just draw one battery. It's more than enough. If you want, you can draw more than that, but it's negative positive now. That's also okay. That's not a problem. You can just, oh, what happened? Redo this. Now you can just try taking it as positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Okay. All right. And then what else do you need here? So you can just connect it like this. Okay. Now this is your voltmeter. I mean, voltage is measured, not voltmeter. I mean, voltage will be measured. So basically, let us just write it down here. This is your 6 ohms. Let this be your 3 ohms. Okay. Let this be your 2 ohms. The reason is, first we'll calculate for the parallel ones. Okay. So let it be R dash. R dash. Okay. So 1 by R dash will be equal to 1 by 6 plus 1 by 3. LCM is how much? 6. So it will be 1 plus 1 into 2. It's a 2 by 6. 3 by 6 is how much? 1 by 2 only. Okay. Now, this total plus 2 ohms I will take. Okay. So, R will be equal to nothing but
R dash will be equal to 2.
Yes, actually, 1 by 2, you can write it 1 by R dash. R dash can be nothing but 2 ohms. Yes. So you can just write here 2 ohms. 1 second. 2 ohms plus 2 ohms. So are you getting a 4 ohm? So your answer is correct. Yes, the way you have arranged is correct. So you need to try, you know what? The combinations of it. See, it will take time to understand and think. It needs a lot of practice. Okay. This was your answer, question number 8, whatever you did. Now, if you want to do a part B, all these 3 have to be arranged in what? Let me tell you. You know what you have to do is you need to arrange all 3 in parallel and then check whether you get that or not. Okay, let's try this out. 1 by RP, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1. I think yes, it should be possible. Okay, let's try this out. LCM is a 6. So 3 plus 2 plus 1. Yeah, perfect. You're getting a 1 ohm. So you're getting a 1 ohm. So 1 by RP is 1 by 1. What is RP? 1 ohm. This is what you will get here. This is what you will get here. So for this question, all resistors, okay, should be arranged in parallel. Okay, and for this, 6 and 3 ohm are in parallel and 2 ohm in series. That's all. We'll stop here. Okay, so whatever are remaining, we will finish it tomorrow.